3, and this time the dummy was the color pink. There were several other crewmates in the security room, and I'm pretty sure they had the same reaction as me. How is there a dummy in Among Us in the middle of a match? That is something unheard of. The dummy was also not moving, just like dummy 1 and 2. The rest of the dummies have to be in this match. I have to find them. So then I came up with an idea. I should check the admin table to spot any crewmates that randomly pop up in areas. As I was walking around, I began to remember the locations of the dummies, and dummy 4 is located in reactor. And when I walked into reactor, I saw dummy 4, and this time he was orange. So now I know for sure that dummy 5 and dummy 6 have to be in this match. The admin table failed me, so now it's time to use the security cameras, because now I can spot the dummy moving from place to place. I was watching the cameras for the next few minutes, and I didn't see any dummies. But when I walked into reactor once again, he was no longer there. But how is a dummy moving from place to place? He must be teleporting. I made my way over to navigation because that's the location for dummy 5, and I was correct. When I walked in, I saw dummy 5 standing there in the same location that dummy 5 can be found in free play. Out of my entire time playing Among Us, I have never faced dummies in regular matches. I went back to security to give it another try, but I didn't see any dummy. But when I walked into upper engine, dummy 6 was standing there. I have now seen all of the dummies in Among Us on a regular match of Scaled, and I just realized something. What happened to dummy 0? Did he turn into all these dummies? We're gonna have to do more investigating. While I was an admin, White called the meeting, and it was dummy 0. And before anyone had the chance to talk, dummy 0 voted himself out, and we won the game. It was now the next game, and I was in disbelief. Why did dummy 0 vote himself out after I saw all the dummies? There must be a strange connection between dummy 0 and the rest of the dummies. It was now the next round. Let's see if we can encounter the dummies once again. When I spawned in, I saw dummy 0 right next to me. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on him because I don't have a good feeling about this. While I was in weapons, we were all watching Orange do his asteroids, and dummy 0 randomly teleported in and killed Blue. I couldn't report the body, and I could see dummy 0 standing outside of the map. I ran out of weapons as fast as I could because I must be his next target. As I was running through storage, all the sabotages were called but randomly fixed, and I kept going over and over. Now this became a lot more scary. While I was an admin, dummy 0 teleported in and killed Yellow right in front of me. I need to get out of here or else I'm next. Dummy 0 then started to walk backwards. This lobby is so cursed. At this point, I sorta gave up on my task. I was now fighting for my life. When I walked into medbay and walked out, dummy 0 killed Pink, and I was forced to run away. I have seen several crewmates die right in front of me. I tried to hide on electrical, and dummy 0 teleported in and killed Lime. There was bodies everywhere and I couldn't do anything about it. I saw Orange, and he was killed in front of me, just like the rest of the crewmates. I was constantly running, but there was nowhere to hide because dummy 0 was always watching me. When I walked into the cafeteria, I saw dummy 0 running, but he wasn't moving forward or backwards, he was just stuck. Green then called the meeting, and I typed dummy 0, but then dummy 0 started to spam his name. This reminds me a lot about Siri Sorrel, so I wonder if there's a connection there. And during that meeting, we all voted for Pink, even though they were dead. Another meeting was then called. I then told Green to vote out White, which was dummy 0. He typed yes, but when the votes were final, he voted for me. I was then ejected, and dummy 0 won the game. My game began to lag, and everything went black, and I could see the mysterious figure that I saw when I was in the cursed lobby of Among Us. This must be dummy 0, but what does he want from me? I then woke up and I was back in the dropship, but I was the color white and my username was 5 zeros, which is the username that the gray crewmate has in Among Us, and he is known as crewmate number 11. I have encountered him before, but why do I have his username? Does that mean that dummy 11 is somewhere out there in Among Us? I looked around the dropship and I could see no one, but when I looked up, I saw a white crewmate on top of the dropship. I then opened up the chat and dummy 0 was spamming dummy 0 once again. I closed the chat and stood there in disbelief, but before I could do anything, I lagged